We are at the Toulouse Street Wharf at the foot of Toulouse Street, New Orleans, in the fabulous French Quarter. And my name is Captain Clarke Doc Hawley, known up and down the rivers as Captain Doc. I grew up in a little town of Charleston, West Virginia, on the Kanawha River, which is a tributary to the Ohio. And Steamboat came to town, which is now running, the Belle of Louisville, which at that time was the Avalanche. And there was no calliope. So I asked the captain why no calliope, and said the calliope player quit. And he said, why do you ask, son? I said, because I like to hear the thing. The showboat comes in here, the majestic showboat. It plays all the time, and this boat used to have one play. He said, well, we still have it. I said, I think I could play it. He said, well, what makes you think you could play it? Everybody thinks they can play it, but keep in mind that the thing is more of a machine than it is an instrument. It's steam of whistles hooked onto a brass keyboard. I'm gonna let you try it, but I'm thinking that you're probably making a mistake by thinking you can play it. I said, what makes you think you can? I said, because we have a pump organ at home. You play with your hands and your feet. And they said, and I don't have to have music. That's what did it. So we went up to the calliope, and he said, now I'm going to get the thing on. There's going to be a lot of steam come out of it. Don't worry, it's not going to hurt you. It's not live steam. But if I go like this, time out, you stop, because you'll run away more people than you bring down here. And the thing is, this is to bring people down to the boat. It's to attract attention. We used to have all-night bartenders, all-night party people that would call over here in the morning and say, shut that thing off, it's 11 o'clock, I'm still sleeping, shut it off. After we were gone a month, probably 6 weeks, yeah, we were gone 6 weeks during Katrina. And there were no tourists in town. In fact, there were very few residents. But the ones, when we got back, the ones that were here said, boy, that music, that really sounds good. It sounds like it should be every day. And glad to hear you're back. The calliope was invented by a strange man up in Vermont named Joshua Stoddard, and he invented the thing, the purpose of which was to put in church steeples and play hymns, and it was more resounding than a bell. I mean, to play a hymn on one of those things would be very loud, the whole town would hear it, and it was advertising for the church. Well, he forgot about the New England winters, and every time you would play it, you'd have to drain the thing, otherwise the manifold would freeze and each whistle valve had to be drained. And so they gave that up. It was too complicated, and they gave that up. And it kind of went into limbo. Then along came P.T. Barnum, and he heard about this instrument, and he is actually the one who put the name calliope on there. Wilbur Dow and Bill Dow from New York built this boat, and they got Alan Bates to design it. and he knew how to design the shear and the camber, the curvatures to the decks that the old boats had. The Dows bought in turn an old steamboat that had been retired by the United States Steel Corporation called the Clarke, and it was sort of an adjunct attention in a state park up there on the Monongahela River above Pittsburgh. They bought that boat just to get the equipment to make an authentic steamboat. And the Natchez started in service in April 1975 and been running ever since. The reel is 25 feet in diameter, 25 feet wide. And those planks are painted every year, and it takes 44 gallons of red paint because each spoke and each plank has 4 sides. You can't just paint one side of a board because when it goes around you can see the lack of paint, you see. So Sherwin-Williams porch and deck paint. One of the great things was said by Mark Twain. Someone asked him, what do you find fascinating about the Mississippi River? And he said, you never know what's around the next bend. That's steam.